Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Let's Play of Hidden Mysteries, The Fateful Voyage Titanic. When we last left off, we're at Chapter 7, I believe. And it is now April 14th, 1912, 11:40 p.m. But that is the year of what this game is telling us in Chapter 7. But today is a different year while I was playing. It's very complicated to explain, but if you play the game, it will tell you the year of the cutscenes, will tell you the year of what happened in the events and all that stuff. It's kind of confusing, so let's get back on track.
The crank handle came loose. Oh well, this compartment could do with the fresh air.
Okay. So what we need to do now, since we broke the crank, we need to go to Robert's stateroom.
If Robert's asleep, it will be difficult to wake him from out here. Why did he insist on separate cabins?
I do not know. We do not know. What I do know is that we need to click on the door.
Robert, are you in there? Why aren't you answering?
Maybe he's a hard sleeper. So we're gonna go to this room.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Montague.
Not at all, Mrs. Ashley. I was not yet asleep when I heard a rather disturbing noise coming from just outside. I'm afraid it spooked Bexley. He's entrenched beneath the bed and will not come out.
Montague, do you have any idea where Mr. Ashley is? I've knocked on his stateroom door, but there's no answer.
Yes, Mr. Ashley was, well, rather soused, I'm afraid. He might have slept through the noise, or perhaps he simply didn't think it was worth rousing himself for.
And you? Did you think it was worth rousing yourself for?
I did indeed. Since I'm awake, I'm heading to the lounge. Might I bring Ma'am something back?
No, thank you, Montague. If you happen across Robert, would you kindly tell him I'm quite anxious to speak with him?
Of course. Although I wouldn't hold out much hope, Mrs. Ashley. I'm certain he is still in his bed. Perhaps you would best occupy your time conspiring to get his attention.
Short of sounding the ship's alarm, I'm not sure what I can do. But I will try, thank you, Montague.
And there's a cat under there, and he won't get out until we give him something. Or her. I don't know. We need to go to the gallery.
Oh, the smell! Let's see if I can find something here Bexley might find appetizing.
Bexley. I don't know if that's a male's name or a female's name. Either way, we had to collect some sardines. Which is part of the hidden object scene in this chapter. Alright, I'm trying to click on this sardine, but it won't let me. That's because some of the items are very small, which is what makes it very irritating when it comes to hidden object scenes. But thankfully, this one is over. Okay, so next thing that I need to do is that I need to go to the musician storage. And we have another hidden object scene, but this time we need to get the belled collar. And the rest is randomized, I believe. I have played this before, and the reason why it says I don't think I haven't solved this puzzle is because I didn't know how. And sometimes I needed to walk through to remind myself to, at the very least, to remember how to solve it in the correct way. And just like fiction fixers, sometimes I try, but it also takes too long, especially when it comes to recording. And the worst part about this sometimes is the fact that I really do want to solve this puzzle, but whenever it gets very harder to solve, it's like, it's not letting me solve it the way, not the way that I wanted to solve it, but it's like, Excuse me. But it's like, you know. Alright, so I think it's time we go back to the other guy's room. And, we need to give the cat the sardines first.
Look, Bexley, it's your favorite. Sardines. That's a good girl. A good boy. I meant good boy.
So it turns out this is a male cat. That's interesting. So what we need to do is that we need to go to this window here. And I think we need to use the frame.
Perfect fit.
We gotta use this handle there. Excuse me. I'm having a bit of an itchy nose problem. But what we need to do is that we need to use Bexley to jump over here.
Heave-ho!
Try to wake him up.
Let the havoc commence.
What the... Who let that blasted cat in here?
Aha! The master has awoken.
So we go here.
Robert, are you awake?
Ugh, blasted cat. How on earth did he sneak into my cabin?
Oh, he's a crafty one, no mistake. Did you hear that horrible noise a little while ago?
Yes, it was awful. I almost threw him off the balcony. He has bells on his neck. What sort of fresh horror is that?
No, I meant before that. You didn't hear a scraping noise? It sounded like nothing I've ever heard.
Margie, this is Titanic. What could possibly go wrong? It was probably a small explosion from one of the furnaces. Nothing to get riled about. Let the stokers handle it. Now, I've got to get to bed. Good night. We'll talk in the morning.
Odd. That didn't reassure me at all. I think I'll go have a word with the captain. Perhaps he can set my mind at ease. Captain, may I disturb you for a moment?
Oh, Mrs. Ashley, we're a bit busy here.
Well, then let me get right to the point. Have we had a collision?
Mrs. Ashley, really, everything is under control. Rest assured that I will inform the passengers as soon as we have thoroughly evaluated the situation.
I'm sorry, it's just that I'm very worried.
Meet me in the sitting room in a moment and I will explain.
Okay, so we have to go to the sitting room. Alright, so let's go to the sitting room and see what this fuss is about.
Now, I've only a moment, Mrs. Ashley. In truth, you were correct.
We've hit something? I knew it. What was it?
An iceberg.
Are we going to sink?
Mrs. Ashley, you have to leave this in the hands of the crew. We are trained to handle these events. Now, please, I must get back to work.
What's this here?
Not sure I understand this, but some of it looks pretty straightforward.
Maybe it has something to do with putting something together? Who knows? But we need to go to this hidden object scene to collect this Morse code book, which we're going to need. And we're going to go ahead and collect these items. Now, I have played this before. Back in the old days when I was Britterella 1, if my memory served correctly, I played this game as a Let's Play, but I used Cam Studio instead of EdCam. I think at the time I didn't notice that there is a software of it. But I think that Bandicam doesn't exist, and I don't know. Let me check to see when does Bandicam actually exist. Okay, so the release date of Bandicam is April 23rd, April 23rd, 2009. My apologies. And let me check on Cam Studio. Alright, so Cam Studio was existing on October 21st, 2001. So at the time, I was not aware of it. But I think it was the time where I did not notice that there was a YouTube website, because I didn't discover it. It's very hard to imagine these days that you find some information that you're not aware of. Okay, so I also discovered that YouTube at the time wasn't released or so until February 14, 2005. So I don't know if it was at the time that I discovered it. Not discovered it, but I didn't know it was at the time that I discovered this site, you know? What I do know is that it's been a long time ago since I remember when I first started YouTube. When I first started YouTube, I was known as Betty Boo 705. Oh my goodness. Something's going on with the rope. So we better use this.
Let's see if I can toss the ring over that whistle.
I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Huzzah! I wasn't named Miss Stow-on-the-Wold Fet Queen for my dressmaking skills alone.
I don't know why you have to shout, girl. Let me see.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, ma'am. You can't be in here. We're transmitting urgent communications.
Oh. And what might those communications be?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Confidential. Now I really must ask you to leave.
Fine.
Well, that didn't work out. I almost forgot we were supposed to do something. Once you get the life ring on the pole, click on it.
Let's see what sort of havoc this causes. Oh my! That was much louder than I expected.
All hands on deck! All hands on deck!
Oh, hello!
You didn't just blow the whistle, did you?
Of course not. A uniformed gentleman did. He went off, I don't know, that way.
Okay, so what happened was that I went to the room, and I wasn't supposed to because this man won't let us use it. So we have to use the pole life ring, whistle it, so that he can get out of here. Alright.
There sure do seem to be a lot of unused parts lying about here.
So we have to place these parts somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. But I think the best thing that we need to do is to pick these up. And also sometimes when you click on a specific word that says what the item is, Margaret will not say anything about this.
Everything else there seems to be essential to the equipment in one way or another. I'd best leave it.
Okay, so that is it for picking up. Next we have to go to the receiving room.
This must be where Titanic receives wireless messages. Quite fascinating. Now, I know this machine was meant to receive messages from distant ships. I wonder if it would receive messages from this ship as well.
Probably so. So what we need to do is that we need to put these things back in its place. Now, as I was saying, I was starting YouTube as BettyBoo705, but then, for whatever reason may be, I technically lost the account. Well, not lost it, but I got... For some reason, I couldn't get on it because either I don't know the cat errors that I should not have made. So that's where I... Probably because sometimes in the past I used copyright music just to make things interesting. Just to make...
No.
Just to make, just to make my YouTube video, like, less quiet, or less, like, what's it called?
Now that sounds interesting. If only I understood it.
Okay, then we go here.
If only I understood it.
Oh, I almost forgot. We have to use this book. Now, before I click on it, I just want to say that... Oh, I'm trying to think. I just want to say that, I started with, other, YouTube channels when I couldn't get on my old one. I was known as Ritterell1 and Peanut Gallery 36. And that's where in one of my channels I start playing this game. Because I knew that Let's Plays was a thing at the time. So I did a Let's Play on this, but the quality isn't great. Which is why I'm doing this right now as in the Miss Sensational Gaming channel. You know? Now, you're probably wondering, well, what happened to the BettyBoo705 channel? Well, I deleted that channel because of certain mistakes that I made. And even though I could have deleted my videos, but let's just say it involves privacy issues and personal information that I should not give away. Which I'm not going to mention any of it. But I just hope and pray that you understand that... What? I just hope and pray that you understand that privacy is the important thing. And I should not mention any details about anything personal. Unless it has something to do with some fun things that's going on in life. Such as if I went to a place that I enjoy the most, you know? That's besides the point.
MGY CQD 41N 50W? It would seem I've merely exchanged one code for another. I'd bet Mr. Tavalouris could help me decipher this, and he might know even more than the captain about the state of the ship. I'd best get to a mirror.
And now we're at chapter 9. I think this is where... Not yet.
Ah, Mrs. Ashley. I thought perhaps I had not seen the last of you. Do, come in.
I'm not here to chat, Mr. Tavalouris. I'm here to get a straight answer from somebody on the state of this ship.
Whatever do you mean?
Is it possible you do not know? We collided with an iceberg not 20 minutes ago. The crew is in a frenzy.
I didn't hear anything. although I did wonder why we were reversing engines.
Nobody aboard will tell me the truth about our situation, so I contrive to eavesdrop on the ship's outgoing wireless messages. But I can't make heads or tails of them. Do you think you might?
This is a distress call. The captain believes the ship will sink. The iceberg must have breached several watertight containers. If that's true, the ship is sinking as we speak.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. If the ship is sinking, the bilge compartments will be the first to fill. There are several on this deck. Perhaps you could check on them while I do some more calculations.
Yes, fine. Where are these rooms?
Down the hall is the bilge assembly. It's a pump system that moves water between bilge compartments. From there are tunnels leading to each of the 3 main bilge holds: the squash court, the Turkish bath, and the third-class showers.
Why those rooms?
It's a question of volume, my dear girl. Those are the largest lower deck rooms aboard. Check all 3 and let me know if there's any water in them quickly.
All right. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a fly, well, not a huge fly, but it's a small one, disrupting me with my videos as I watch this cutscene. Even though it's not moving, but at the very least, it's, you know. But I gotta stop recording, so thanks for watching, and have a blissful, wonderful